Hello, YouTube. We are back for the attack for Jeremy's Detective Comics number 33. Last upload, as you know, if you watch my channel, we did nice dry cleaning and we removed surface dirt by using my zester or cheese grater and just a regular white eraser. It came out very well and I'm happy. If you're stopping by and you enjoy my content, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that sub button. It helps the algorithms and it really promotes the channel well when people are subbed up and like it. And it just gives me a boost and tells me what I'm doing here is a good thing because people like it. So, enough of that, Jerry the Jitterbug. What are we doing here today? Well, I have a beer. It's Friday night. I'm by myself in my house. My family is out and I'm going to have fun. And cheers. And people may be asking, you're having fun in your basement, drinking a beer, working on an excellent vintage comic? Hell yeah. The answer is 100% yes. This is fun to me. So, what are we going to do? Well, what we're going to do is we are going to focus on Billy Rice. Billy Rice, you must have loved this book in history. I can't even imagine how long ago that you wrote this on top of this first killer page to tell everyone who came to your house, hey, this is my book, Billy Rice, and I don't want anyone to touch it. Well, I'm sorry, Billy. We're going to remove your signature from this first wrap of Detective Comics 33. I know you loved your book, Billy, but we're going to remove it. So it presents a lot better when we put everything together. So, what are we going to do? How are we going to remove Billy's signature? It is with ink, and I, in the past, used various different methods to remove ink from newsprint. So we are going to try to remove this, and we'll make it a lot lighter. And the way we are going to do it is by using acetone. And we're only going to use a small amount of acetone, and we're going to take our time using precision tipped Q-tips. If you want to buy these precision Q-tips, they are on my description in this upload and all my uploads, where there is a link to Amazon. And if you use my link, I make a few pennies here and there, and it helps promote the channel. But I'm telling you guys, if you are, guys and girls, if you are going to be doing any type of conservation, you need to get these. And I researched it, and the link that I provide, I think, is the best source to get these precision Q-tip with the long sticks, and they give you a whole bunch of them for the price in the link. So, let's get started. Now, how are we going to start this process? Well, I will tell you right now. The first thing that we want to do is we want to move the wrap away from our workstation. And as you can see, I'm very delicate picking this treasure and moving it away. Then what I want to do is I use a piece of glass, just like this. In fact, I don't want to use this piece of glass. I want to use my big piece of glass. And whenever I use solvents, I like to use glass because glass is nice and smooth, and I'm sure there's a lot of glare going all over the place. Now you see my lights right here, and here, but I'm trying to amp up my production. So we are going to put down a nice piece of glass, and glass is always something that I like to use because it's nice and flat and really the page does not stick on the glass. But just to be safe, we're going to use a piece, and now this is a scrap piece of Hollytex, and this is going to go on the bottom of where we are working. But we will take this away for a second, and then what I have here is just a glass jar that we are going to use and that we are going to put our acetone in. So we take it out, we open it up like that, and you don't need much. We're just gonna put a little bit amount in the glass jar, just like that. Very small amount, we close that up. Okay, now what I wanna do is I wanna put my piece of Hollytex down, and then I wanna put my first wrap of Detective Comics number 33 down, just like that. Very nice, very simple. Let's make sure that the positioning is straight. Let's see if we can take care of this glare on the right, and I know how I can take care of it. I have a bunch of different pieces of cardboard on the side of Jerry the Jitterbug's workbench, pieces of backer boards that are scrap. We're gonna put that down just like that, and we're gonna try to hide the glare. And let's do one more piece on the left side of the actual wrap. See, like this, we'll put a nice piece of backer board underneath, just so you do not have to be bothered by glare. And we want the viewing pleasure in Jerry the Jitterbug's uploads that are something that you want to watch without seeing big lights flashing in your face. So what we have here is our micro or precision tipped Q-tip. I'm just going to take a little bit of the acetone, just like this, and just put it in my vessel. Okay, and then all you want to do is you want to take it and gently rub it back and forth. Now the cool thing about these precision tipped Q-tips is that they don't give off a lot of liquid. You're not loading it up. And I just want to rock it back and forth just like this. And we want to loosen up this ancient ink from Billy that he put on, Billy Rice. Just like this, we rub back and forth, back and forth. And once we're done removing the ink, we are going to immediately spray this down. I'm taking, this is a garbage container. We put it away. These are disposable. That's why they give you so many of them. They're disposable, and you don't want to use it because once you lift up a little bit of the ink, you want to get rid of it because you don't want to be rubbing the ink into the actual wrap that you're working on. You want to get in there and you want to get out. You want to bring the ink up. You want to absorb the ink with the precision Q-tip, just like I'm doing, like this. Nice and slow, nice and easy. And you see the wetness on the cover or on the wrap. It is spreading. So once you see it spread like that, you want to back off a little bit. In my experience, you want it to dry. And one thing with acetone, it dries very quickly. Okay, so you want to give it a second to dry because you don't want to saturate the other areas of the wrap that you're working on. See, it dries up nice. Then I just put a little bit more acetone in, shake it off a little bit, and then we're just gonna rock it back and forth. Nice and slow and steady. Rock, rock, rock until you're pulling up some nice ink or bad ink. Well, I guess it's nice ink because Billy Rice probably really loved this book. Just like when I was younger, little Jerry the Jitterbug, when he had his Batman toys, I used to love it. I used to dream of it. I used to make costumes and capes and utility belts with Batman. Batman is one of my major heroes that I loved from a boy. So working on this book right here is very special to me, or working on any Batman book for that matter is very special to me, because when I was younger, Batman was my buddy. And I remember watching the 66, I think it is, the movie that came out, and I was just watching that. It was on TV, and it was just amazing seeing my hero in live action. It was just a great time to grow up. And I grew up in the 70s. I was born in 1973. So you have to understand, during this time in the 70s, for some reason, it was just a special time with superheroes. And there were a lot of good live action shows in the 70s. There was the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk with Lou Ferrigno. That was really a great show to watch. There was Wonder Woman, amazing watching Wonder Woman live action. There was the Shazam, my favorite, Captain Marvel live action. Now, the Batman live action, that was in the 60s. So that was way before Jerry the Jitterbug was born. Really not that way before, but it was, quite some time before I was born in 1973. But there was a show that was in the late 70s, and it was a DC show, and it was a roast. And they had a lot of good heroes. There was Hawkman, there was Batman, there was Robin, it was Adam West who was in the show, and Burt Ward, he was in it as well. And that was something that was funny. I remember it was Solomon Grundy. Maybe I'll leave right here the name of it and the show that was on in the late 70s. I remember it was a big thing. It was maybe on a Sunday night or a Saturday night, but I just remember it was something that was a major thing for superhero lovers during the time. So right here, we're continuing going, and you just have to take your time. And you may be saying, Jerry, okay, how long are we going to do this for? Well, you'll see all of the sticks that I've been using, all the precision Q-tips. And this is just something that takes time, and you want to just do a little rubbing just like this, and try to pull up the ink. And we're going to get it. And I can probably spend doing this, trying to lift up the ink, maybe a few hours. I'll let it dry, and then we'll hit it again with some of the precision Q-tips that I'm using. So it just has to loosen up. And I can see right now there is traces of the ink off of the page that I'm working on. And it's not an instant gratification. It's not that you take the acetone and you say, I'm done. I put it down. It's over. I did it. Great. No, this is a long, tedious process. And I can maybe go through a whole bag of these precision Q-tips, which are listed in my description if you're looking to purchase them. So I don't know if I'm going to film this. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to step away from the camera, and I'm going to work on this, and I'm going to do what I have to do. And then we'll come back and I will show you the results. Okay, so stay tuned. Okay, guys, we are back. Now, I've been working on the signature of the prior owner, I'm assuming, of this book for about a half an hour using the Precision Q-tips. As you can see, I used a lot. It's still a little wet from the chemicals. So what I want to do and what I like to do is I want to give it a water bath. I want to rinse out the acetone that has been put in, and we are going to spray it. I'm getting a grate off of the side of my Jerry the Jitterbug lair. Right here, everyone knows my grates that I use. These are light grates from Home Depot. So I'm going to put it to the side. And then what I want to do is I want to take the wrap and I want to put it on a piece of Hollytex, just like that. And you may be asking, okay, Jerry, so what are you doing? Well, first, what we're going to do is I'm going to get rid of this piece of glass so we can work like civilized individuals. Okay. And then I'm going to get a tub. So bear with me. This is a tub right here that I use. Everyone knows the tub that I use. It's a Tupperware or a tub for storage. And you can see what's going on in there. What's that powder? Well, that powder is calcium carbonate residue. Even though we clarify it, it still leaves a residue. So what I want to do is I just want to take my sprayer, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to take some of my scrap paper towels, and we're going to wipe down the calcium carbonate, or may even be calcium hydroxide. It may be both for all I know. But we're just going to clean it up a little bit. Okay, we're going to clean it up just like this, because what we're going to do is we're going to spray down the Detective Comics 33, the first wrap, and I'm going to put it like this. And I just want to spray out the chemicals or the acetone that we've been putting in to remove the signature. And patience is the key with this, guys, okay? And I want to tell you, I used some of the acetone and I removed some of the glue. It came up nicely. I'm happy. I removed some of the glue on the tear seals. So let's give it a little spraying. This is just basic H2O. And I'm going to focus on the area that we put the chemicals. Just like this. And if I have to go back 2, 3, 4 times, I don't care, in order to do the job right. Because I want to try to remove that signature as best as possible so we can make this first wrap of this classic book look as best as possible. So we're going to give it a nice spray, and it looks like my sprayer may have sprung a leak because I just saw some water spray in the opposite direction. Let's give it some pumping, and let's see. Oh, we're pretty good. So right now we're just giving it a little spray of water, and I've said many times in my channel or on my channel, what you put in is what you should take out. And I just want to show you something. This is the piece of Hollytex right here, okay? And as you can see, hopefully the camera's picking it up. You see that blue? That is the ink being drawn out from the reverse side. And it just gave me an idea, and I think we're going to try something, but I'm not going to try it now. I'll try it in the future. And I've done it in the past on my uploads, and I use my leaf casting table to suck out stains, okay? So if I took this first wrap and I put it on my leaf casting table and we cranked up the suction, it would actually draw out the ink from the reverse side. And I would put a blotting paper on the bottom, or I would use maybe some form of paper towel, and it would suck down the stain or the ink from the suction. And I do that often. I haven't done it in a while, but this is just a classic example of the inks coming through right here. This is the ink of the signature. So I'm going to now straighten out this wrap, and I'm going to straighten it out from the reverse side. I'm going to put a piece of Hollytex over this side now, and then we're going to switch it over because there's a lot of pieces, or just a few pieces, not a lot, that actually are folded over, and we're going to try to flatten it out just to get the situation straight, where when we leaf cast, we are in a good position. Now, I want to show you right now. See that? It's blue. The water is blue. That's the ink, guys. That's the ink that is in the signature up there coming out with the water that I'm spraying it on. So I'm going to continue giving it a nice spray. We're going to let it drop down into the tub, and we are going to get this signature out. So this first page really looks very nice for Jeremy, and it doesn't have the prior owner's signature on it. There is a signature that is on the cover. It's a Daisy file cover, and we're going to keep that. That is part of history. We are definitely going to keep that, but we don't need Mr. Rice's signature. No way indeed. So I'm going to let this cascade, and in fact, I am going to dump this water out, which is blue. This is the ink that is coming out, and I'll be right back.